aim. So the first thing I want to talk about is eye tracking and eye exercises. Before you want to shoot an enemy with your mouse, you have to see him first, track his movement. So before I hop into a game and try and process as much as information as possible, I want to warm up, not only with my mouse movement, but with my eyes. So videos like eye tracking and eye exercises can really help you perform. The second topic I want to talk about is warming up with your mouse movement, basically trying to improve your aim. How do you do that? You can use third-party softwares like AimLabs, for example, or you can just type online aim training online like is shown in the video, and you can use their things and their challenges. There are so many things you can explore, and of course reaction time is very important to practice as well. Doing this every day will improve your aim significantly. So the third topic I want to talk about is cursor placement. I know that most of you are familiar with this term, but I still want to explain it. It's very important. So cursor placement is basically where do you place your cursor while moving around the map. It's very important to note which object you are running towards. For this example, I picked these rocks over here. Always you want to imagine that somebody is either camping or he's about to pick you. What you want to do now is try to imagine where his shoulders to neck area will be at what level. So it's around this level over here. So while I'm wrapping around an object, my cursor placement would look something like this. Why this is important? Because when you have a correct cursor placement, you will already look at the target, you will already aim at the target, so you will not need to adjust as much. Less mouse movement, better aim, and you will win much more fights like this. The first topic I want to talk about is basically jitter aim and smooth aim plus sensitivity. And why this is important, because people miss a lot of shots because they panic and they jitter aim. Jitter aim is basically when you move your mouse very quickly, especially in close quarters combat. So when you move your mouse very quickly like this is very bad. Why? So as you can see, I'll show you an example. See, when I move my mouse very fast, I have big gaps that my bullets will not hit. If I'm moving my mouse smoothly and slowly, I will cover more space with my bullets, and I will have more chance of hitting the target. So if I'm just coming around like this, being very smooth with my aim, I will hit the target more than if I just move my mouse very quickly. And this is why controller players have better aim than keyboards and mouse players. I know there is an aim assist in play, but still controller players have better aim because the smoothness of the controllers helps them aim better and cover more space. Movement. So the first thing I want to talk about is the coding of this game. This game does not have hold to shift, hold to sprint. What do I mean by that? I will show you a demonstration. So basically I'm playing Vandal right now. This is my shift key over here, you can see in my camera. So what I'm gonna do is I'll press W, hold shift, I will use my slide ability, I'm still holding shift, and my character will crouch walk instead of sprinting. This is very important, just keep that in mind. The second thing I want to talk about is b-hopping. On a flat ground, just sprint regularly. You will move faster than just spamming space or b-hopping. When b-hopping becomes good is when you going downhill, and then b-hopping can give you a momentum, and then you move faster. Flat ground, just sprint. The second thing I want to talk about here is strafing. What most people do while in close quarters combat is they do this, they just move side to side and shoot. This is very bad because 1, you are very predictable, and 2, you are very easy target to hit. They don't really have to adjust their mouse at all. They can just fire without moving their mouse an inch and you'll still get hit. Why? As you can see in my beautiful drawing, because you're moving side to side, you will get into the crosshair by default, and then you'll die so fast and you'll get melted. So how do you become unpredictable and a harder target to hit? Is by going one direction. So in this example, I'm holding A here, I'm going left side. So by just going left side is already an improvement. Why? Because now they have to adjust their mouse more and they have to track your movement. Enemy POV, it will look something like this. And by moving like this, it's already uncomfortable right here, as you can see in my camera on the top left corner. Already right here, it feels very uncomfortable for me to aim, and my aim will be very poor and I will miss more shots. This is why it's important to know how to strafe correctly. How do you become even more unpredictable? Is by going the other way for 1 second. So I'm holding A, clicking D for 1 second, but I'm still going one direction. And you can add to that crouching. So while you strafe, you can crouch in between, and then this is the ultimate strafe right here. You will become very unpredictable. They will have to adjust their mouse more, and it will be harder for them and very difficult for them to hit you. What also is important to note is while in close range, you usually wanna look at the enemy movement and not your crosshair. And while in mid to long range fights, you wanna look at your scope or your crosshair. Positioning. The first thing I wanna talk about is high ground and low ground. Let's say there is a guy on top of this roof. Most roofs don't really have good coverage, so I'm just giving you an extreme example. Let's say there is a guy on top of this roof and I'm right here. Do you think that I have the advantage or he has the advantage? I have the advantage. Why? Because he doesn't know where I'm at, where I'm positioned, and if I have a long shot, for example, a sniper rifle, I can one shot him or two shot him, depends on the shield that he's running with. And this is very bad. A high ground becomes a disadvantage here. This is when low ground has the advantage. And when high ground has the advantage and low ground has the disadvantage is when the enemy knows your position. When he knows where you are positioned, so let's say for example you're hiding behind this rock, even though you can't see them, they can see you. Why? Because of the angle that they are positioned on the high ground, and I will explain. So as you can see in this beautiful drawing, because they have an angle on you, they can still see you even though you are behind cover. It's not the same if you will fight an enemy on the low ground. High ground here, when you know the position of the enemy, now you have the advantage and the low ground has the disadvantage. The second topic I want to talk about is cover while moving. If you are currently in a very highly contested area, let's say for example station in perimeter, so I have two choices, is either going straight forward, and if I'll get shot, of course I can get behind cover, but now I have the disadvantage because I'm low, I need to heal myself, and sometimes you don't really know where you got shot from. So the best way for you to move around the map is you need to go towards the nearest object on your screen. So the nearest object on my screen is this one. So this is how I'll move around the map. As you can see, I'm always running to the nearest object that I see in front of me. And this is how you need to move. The third topic I want to talk about is line of sight. Line of sight is basically when somebody sees you but you can't see them. As you can see right now, I'm in front of this staircase. I will mark my position right here, and let's say somebody camp in this position right here. He would be able to see me very easily. His line of sight is better than mine. Why? Because he can see me and I cannot. He will have the advantage here. So knowing the map is very important as well. And what you can do here is either jiggle pick just to make sure that nobody is camping that position, that has a better line of sight, or what you can do is rotate and push from a different position. The fourth thing I want to talk about is rotation, map rotation. This is station. Okay, now you have two choices, is either you will go straight inside the facility or you will rotate. How can you rotate is around the facility. This is the best way to rotate. Why? Because while people try to go into the facility, you can come from behind, spot them and kill them. Or if they already went inside the facility, they will make a lot of noise, they will fight USC and you will have the advantage and you can engage them without them knowing that you are there, and you can surprise them and win the fight. Fighting. So the first thing I want to talk about is when to disengage and when to engage. As you can see with my beautiful handwriting, I made a list here. So the first reason is HP. When you are low, you want to disengage. When the enemy is low, you want to engage. Enemy position is very important as well. Why this is important? Because if you know the enemy position by hearing footsteps or gunshots, you know where to engage to and where to disengage. UAC spawns are very crucial for engaging and disengaging. By knowing the map very well and understand where turrets and UAC commanders, for example, can spawn, really can help you. Let's say, for example, you on top of a roof trying to get a red keycard in the outpost and there you get sniped from somewhere. You want to disengage, you are low. Let's say you disengage to the south and then you stumble upon 3 turrets and 2 USCs and then you die to them because you are low. So knowing the map and knowing spawns is very important and can save your life. So knowing who got the advantage in a fight is very important as well. The best way to know if you got the advantage or not is how difficult for you is to fight the enemy that you are facing. So let's say you're having a very difficult time to hit the enemy, to get the damage and to kill him, then probably it means that he got the advantage over you. So you want to disengage, maybe rotate to a different position. As you can see with my amazing writing, I wrote here consumables, heals, cardio and jammer. So these are consumables that can be very useful for engagement, signal jammer and cardio. And when we talk about heals, for example, so let's say you are low and you're out of heals, you have no options but to run away. But if you're out of heals and you're full HP, you have 2 options. Either run away or push the enemy to a close quarter fight and go all in. So nobody has time really to heal themselves. Utilities, didn't talk about zone control in this video, but basically, let's say for example you are low HP and you disengaged. Now you're running towards a building, a different building, and you need to heal yourself. While you're running towards this building, you hear an enemy behind you pushing you. What you can do is basically control a zone by placing claymores, for example, or throwing a toxic grenade to prevent them from pushing you. This is called zone control. So tracking enemies' abilities and not only yours is very important as well. So if your abilities are up and you see the enemy is wasting their ability or missed their ability, for example, now you have the advantage here. So use this advantage, engage the enemy, push and get a kill. Stamina is very important in engaging an enemy, pushing an enemy, and disengagement as well. For example, me, I play Vandal, so if I want to push somebody with my abilities use heat. So I need to be very careful how I use my stamina when I want to engage a player, and of course I want to save as much stamina as possible. If I'll get hit really hard and I want to disengage, I can double jump, I can slide pretty far, so learning how to use your stamina correctly is very crucial. Time, so I wrote here how long. I know my handwriting is amazing. So basically the duration of the fight is very important because third party in this game is a thing. So if you see that the fight duration is pretty long, you might want to disengage, get a better position, so you'll be able to scout and hear enemies around you. The second topic I want to talk about is fight pacing. So fight pacing is basically how slow or fast you are engaging or disengaging. So usually when you want to engage someone that you know their position and they don't know about you, it will go from slow, you want to move quietly, you want to move slower, surprise the enemy, and then you can go into a faster pace to engage and kill the enemy. Now if you remember when we talked about map rotations, so let's say I spawn right here in Howler and I'm rotating around this facility, and if I hear somebody is shooting the UAC right now, I will move slower. I don't want to make noise so the enemy will not hear me, so I will have the advantage since I know where the enemy is positioned. I will move slower, my face will be slower, and then if I'll see the guy, I'll shoot him. I expose my position, now I can move into a faster pace, and I will move quickly to engage and kill him. The third topic I want to talk about is time to kill. Time to kill is basically how long it takes for you to kill a person, and keep in mind what shield you use is very important as well. So as you can see in this website Marathon Meta, white shield has 140 HP, green 160, 180, 200 and etc. And also it's important to use the best gun that deals the most amount of damage in the shortest time, so the DPS should be very high. Assault rifles, in this section the first gun should be the best one. Even though the DPS here over on AR is 126, still it deals the least amount of damage. The Impact HAR is the best one. It's probably a bug or something, or an incorrect data. In the SMG section, the Barrett SMG is the best one. Shotguns, snipers, pistols and etc. Visit this website yourself. There are several things you can explore here: cores, implants, equipment, builds that people create for each shell, and you can create your own loadout as well. Fourth step I want to talk about is third party. When you third party, you need to understand that just running straight inside the building is very bad, because from being in an advantage, now you have the disadvantage. Why? Because you don't know their health and you don't know their position. So pacing is very important, like I told you before. If the enemy doesn't know that you are coming, always go from a slow pace, and when you surprise the enemy, you can start running, engaging, pushing, and go to a faster pace. Weapon mastery. So having an advantage by picking the correct weapon for the map that you want to play. So let's say for example you want to play Outpost. Well, Outpost, the most contested area is the pile mill. It's very claustrophobic and close range, so picking a shotgun there will be very helpful and can give you an advantage. In Dire Marsh, for example, it's a pretty huge map and a lot of open areas, so using a sniper rifle like long shot can give you an advantage. Always pick a primary weapon and a secondary weapon. The primary weapon can be a blue or a purple or even an exotic, but always take a secondary weapon. If you don't want to take a purple secondary weapon, then take something like a V11 punch that is gray with no attachments, because if you run out of ammo, you won't be able to reload in mid-fight if it's a close range fight, for example. So switching to your secondary can actually save your life. Shells. As you know, some of the shells in this game their own tech. For example, Thief has a movement tech with her grapple, and Destroyer can use his shield while looting a body. I'm not going to show you this in this video. I just recommend you to search it on YouTube. I don't want to waste too much of your time, so there are plenty of videos out there. Just go and check it out. If you have any questions, or you want me to make a video about a specific topic in this video and go a little bit deeper, just write it down in the comments. And of course, if this guide helped you, let me know.